All right, guys, so we have another example of woke indoctrination that is being pushed on students in these schools that, Democrats and the left and the leftist media says it's not happening. It's made up. You're just making everything up, right? You're making up the teachings about race in school. You're making up the issues that are going on with gender neutral bathrooms. You're making up everything, right? You're just making up everything. Right, but here we are again with another example of a teacher that's just being overtly political and trying to, again, indoctrinate students in their political ideology. As there is a high school teacher out in Rocklin, California, that gave a quiz that is controversial, to say the least, as there was a question on the quiz that basically tries to associate conservatives with being idiots.
Coming up at first, parents at a local school raising concerns after seeing a controversial test question in a social studies class this week. Thanks for being with us for Fox 40 News at 10. I'm Eric Rucker. That controversial quiz was given at Whitney High School. Tonight, parents are demanding something be done to make sure it never happens again. Fox 40's Garshpal Sangha joining us now live from Rocklin with what the school is saying about that class assignment. Garshpal.
Yeah, Eric, some people I spoke to say they were shocked when they saw this question on the test. Some people thought it was not true, but the school district, the high school, says they're conducting a thorough investigation. A classroom assignment causing concerns.
Some type of discipline needs to be placed on this teacher.
Parents at Whitney High School alarmed after they say they saw a multiple choice test question in a history class Thursday. That question asked to define a group of complete idiots, then gives the students the choices of the KKK, all of Florida, Fox News, or Texans.
The story's kind of gone in one ear and out the other because they just sounded so unbelievable.
People say the teacher is known for his humor, but some say the question was inappropriate and at the same time seemed to display his political opinion.
My son would come home and complain to me.
This parent, who didn't want to show us his face or give his name for the story because he fears backlash against his child who is in this class, says one-sided political comments are an ongoing thing for this teacher.
The question on the test is like really blatant, obviously, and that's out there. That I think it's the first time that it's been really looked at of crossing the line.
The parent says this teacher has made comments which are mostly directed against the Republican Party.
We all have different beliefs. This is, the United States. We all come from different backgrounds, and everybody should be okay with who they are.
In a letter sent to parents, Whitney High School principal acknowledges there was a quiz and said they recognize and share the parents' concerns and are conducting a thorough investigation. That principal went on to say they are committed to providing each student, family, and staff with a safe and welcoming environment. While personnel matters will remain confidential, appropriate disciplinary steps will be taken. The parent who has his son in the class says he has heard this before, but he hopes the school makes it clear politics should be left outside of the classroom.
We've, been happy with the school. It's just certain issues that need to be taken care of. To me, we need to go back to we teach math, English, history, and stuff like that, and not have so much political stuff involved in high school.
Now, when this investigation is going to be wrapped up, that date has not been announced. Reporting live in Rocklin, I'm Garshpal Sangha, Fox 40 News.
Garshpal.
Guys, I guarantee you, if you present this to leftists, they will find this to be funny, right? They will find stuff like this to be funny, like overt political discrimination and harassment, because that's really what it is towards students based off, again, politics. They will find this funny. They'll be like, oh, no, this is fair game. Okay? This is the type of stuff that they want in schools. They want this type of overt political indoctrination. That's what they want. This is why they try so hard to deny that this stuff is happening, even though it is. It's not just race. It's not just gender. It is just flat out political. It's flat out political. It's everything that fits the narrative of the left. Now, before I talk more about this, I do want to read a little bit more here about what's going on, because there's some parents here that's calling for this teacher to be fired, and rightfully so. And we're going to start here. Whitney High School principal Justin Cutts posted a statement on Twitter the following day and said the high school administration and Rocklin Unified School District are investigating the situation. A quiz was assigned to students by a social science teacher. However, students, families, and the Rocklin community have raised concerns about the class assignment, Cutts said in a statement. A Whitney High School alumni posted an online petition now with more than 100 signatures calling for the teacher who allegedly administered the quiz to be fired. The teacher has worked to polarize his students, alienating his conservative students in what should be a politically neutral safe space. The creator of the petition, Nathan Elizaran, wrote. ABC 10 spoke with two parents, both of whom asked not to use their names out of concerns of backlash against their students. Both parents said they're concerned this quiz question isn't the first time the teacher has made students who hold conservative views feel uncomfortable. One parent whose son is in the teacher's class and took the quiz told ABC 10 that the teacher often says things in a joking manner, but it still concerns her and her son. Wait, hold on now. I don't understand why a parent should even feel like they can't speak out or, reveal their identity because of backlash, because this teacher should be fired, right? Like, this is, in my opinion, a fireable offense. I mean, you write a question like this, you say a group of complete idiots are the KKK, Fox News, all of Florida and Texas. That right there, again, that's a fireable offense. Okay, because some of these kids may have family members that's in Texas. They may have family members in Florida. Right? You're also trying to associate conservatives with the KKK. Right? So, I mean, this is just flat out woke indoctrination. And it's really offensive to any student that may have conservative views or may come from a more conservative background. It is. And see, this type of stuff, again, I guarantee you, if this was a conservative teacher that asked this same question and said a group of complete idiots are Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all of California and New York and all of NBC, Joy Reid, everybody else, I guarantee you, liberals will be crying. They'd be like, oh, this teacher got to be fired. In which I honestly kind of would agree with them, right? I would agree with them and say, yeah, no, you're right. Because we don't need politics in school, period. But this is what's happening. This is what's happening. It says, quote, he needs to teach U.S. history and stay on the subject and not go off on, say, tangents or that are extremely biased. It has to stop, the mother said. To me, it's indoctrination because the kids don't know better. He's in an authoritarian position and the kids look up to the teacher. When asked if she thinks the teacher should be fired, this mother said, I'd like to see him just stop and teach his class appropriately, adding if the teacher refuses to do that, then removal would be appropriate. See, she being too nice. I actually think this teacher should be fired. Just flat out. I'm done and I'm sick and tired of politics being implemented in our schools. I really am. Right? When you give an inch, these people take a mile. Right? Stuff like this, letting this slide is how you get the whole gender neutral bathrooms. Is how you get racial indoctrination. That's how you get it, because teachers feel like there's leeway. Right? They feel like they can just do it because they let stuff like this slide. You got to start firing these teachers off the cuff. This is an open and closed case. We know he made the quiz. There's reports of him doing this stuff before. What more questions that I ask? Hey man, I'm sorry, you can't do this. You got to go, right? Because again, giving these people too much leeway is why this stuff continues on. The other parent, whose son took the teacher's class last year, told ABC 10 he is happy overall with Whitney High School, but in this situation, he thinks there should be discipline. My son actually enjoyed the class when they were learning the stuff that you're supposed to be learning, this father said, but it was when it came down to a lot of political views that were kind of forced and pushed, and actually some of the stuff the teacher was saying was almost conspiracy theory against anyone who thought conservative. ABC 10 reached out to Whitney High School in the district to confirm the identity of the teacher and to find out which answer would have earned the student a point. A spokesperson for the Rocklin Unified School District provided a statement but didn't directly address either inquiry. I guarantee you, it probably would have been the KKK, right? And that would have been the teacher's cop-out to say, well, no, it was the KKK, right? The group of complete idiots would have been the KKK. That would have been the answer, right? Because if any other answer would have earned a point, then that ultimately would be like, oh yeah, you're flat out just saying that people that are conservative or that live in conservative state or associated with conservative causes are idiots, right? KKK would have been a cop-out. Rocklin Unified and Whitney High School are aware of the concerns of class assignment and do not approve of any incidents that causes students to feel uncomfortable. Disciplinary action will be taken following the conclusion of the thorough investigation, said Sandeep Deshint, spokesperson for the district. All right. You know, it's really not about making students feel uncomfortable. It's just about the fact that you're openly pushing your political ideology on students. Right. And that's what it's really about. I don't care about necessarily making students feel uncomfortable per se, because that's the same argument that leftists use to push their woke indoctrination. Right. Well, the American flag is uncomfortable, so therefore we shouldn't have the American flag in school. The Pledge of Allegiance is uncomfortable, so therefore we shouldn't have it. No. It's not about making students feel uncomfortable. It's about the fact that you're pushing your political ideology on students. Right. You're flat out trying to influence how they think about politics instead of just teaching the material. And for whatever reason, leftists don't believe that that's actually possible. They believe that if you don't want political indoctrination in school, then you just don't want history taught, right? If you don't believe race should be taught in school, you just don't want history taught, right? That's how they frame this stuff. And again, in my opinion, this type of stuff happening in schools. We know it's happening. A lot of these teachers are liberal activists. And this is what they do. But the left will say, you know what? It's made up and it's not happening. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.